Joining me tonight is Michael Verts, DDS, class of 2002. Dr. Verts graduated from Washington College with a BS in biology and went on to earn his DDS from the University of Maryland School of Dentistry. Dr. Verts, thanks for joining us. How are you this evening?
I'm doing great. How are you, Phil?
I'm doing well, thanks.
Awesome.
So to start off tonight, can you tell us a little bit about your current dental career?
For sure. Right now, I'm an associate at a very well-respected pediatric dental and orthodontic specialty practice in Mount Airy, Maryland, really close to where I grew up in Frederick. Um, I'm a board-certified pediatric dentist. I'm also a fellow of the American Academy of Pediatric Dentistry. I'm pursuing also board certification in laser surgery because I see a lot of infants for tongue and lip tie release to help them feed. I'm also a member of the American Academy of Pediatrics. That's the medical side of things because many of our patients are severely medically compromised. And because we do sedation and various other medical procedures in the office, it's important to do that. It's a large practice. We have 4 doctors, 3 pediatric dentists, and an orthodontist. Dr. David Hassan is the owner of that practice, and he's been in Mount Airy for almost 40 years. So it's been around a long time, and it's a pleasure to work there. Very fortunate.
Yeah, absolutely. Sounds like an institution of sorts, huh?
It's awesome. Yeah.
So you've got some other interests though, right? Outside of
Right.
dentistry that you spend
Yeah.
some time on. Can you tell us a little bit about those?
Yeah, for sure. So, I mean, I love hanging out with my family. My wife and I have 2 boys right now. They're 9 and 7 years old, and do a lot with them. We do a lot of just general family activities. We do a lot of outdoor activities, camping and fishing and canoeing and things like that. I help with the local Cub Scout pack where I'm the Cub Master right now. We're pretty active just in the community in general. Um, and I just started a woodworking business over the office closure during the pandemic, the height of the pandemic in the spring. Our office was closed for 12 weeks, and so I wanted to make the most of that time. So I took a hobby and I just turned it into an official Maryland local business. So it's just me. I work out of my garage. I build simple things like cornhole boards and bird feeders, and I've fixed things. I repair furniture, just kind of basic custom orders, but I'm definitely busy. I have orders that right now that are going to last me at least six to 9 months in the future. So no shortage of business there. So I do that in the evenings sometimes and on the weekends if I find a free moment. I'm also really into music still. The music faculty at Washington College will remember, just I was basically in every musical, instrumental music group possible. Even did a little singing here and there. So anyhow, it's been keeping me busy. And but it's just one of those things that I don't sit still. I don't like to sit still, and so it's really cool to be able to have a career where I can do different things in addition to dentistry. I'm not one to just go home and read the dental journals necessarily. I mean, I do that, but at the same time, I enjoy other things too.
Yeah, that's something I think a lot of our pre-health students always have so many varied interests, and we get the questions a lot from first year students of or prospective students. We actually had a presentation not too long ago for some prospective students, and a lot of times one of the concerns is can I do other things? Can I also be an athlete? But it's pretty obvious that you found a way, right? Obviously, when you're at Washington College, you
Yeah, I
get
mean,
into the music. Yeah.
you should do other things. You have to do other things. If you sit in your room and study all the time, I can tell you from experience that might give you really awesome grades, but it's not going to do anything for your ability to communicate with people on all different levels, which is if you're going to the health professions, that's an extremely important skill to have. When I was at the dental school in Baltimore, I served for 2 years on the dental school admissions committee. Just like I was on the admissions, I helped with the admissions at Washington College. I was also given the privilege to do admissions for the dental school. And so I and my colleagues I'm sure would agree that a 4.0 doesn't hold any candle at all to somebody with a 3.5 and a ton of extracurriculars who's able to talk to you the whole time during the interview. if you're fortunate enough to be able to get a 4.0 and have a lot of interest, that's awesome. But not everybody is falls into that category.
Yeah, that's some terrific insight. Um,
So yeah,
and yeah, it's something we try to get across to our students. And I'll admit here, I did not know that. I did not know you had that background on the admission side. So that's
yeah,
fantastic, for you to be able to share that with everyone.
for sure.
And what other sorts of advice might you give our current pre-dental students or pre-health students in general?
Yeah, absolutely. So, during the years when I was looking into dental school and dentistry as a profession, it was pretty encouraged by dental schools and by colleges, just on the whole, that if you were going to go to dental school, you should probably be a science major. And that's actually changed. So this is my biggest piece of advice is to any Washington College students, or really any college students in general. You don't have to be a science major. You need to get the prerequisites done, but you need for dental school, and you need to do well at those. But you also need to be able to have an enjoyable time in college studying what you want to study. I was in dental school with probably half science majors and half other majors. I was in dental school with music majors and business majors and economics majors and finance majors and engineers from Johns Hopkins and CPAs and physicians from Iran and all sorts of things. So you have to major in what you want to major in, what you love. And you know that's the most important thing, because if you get the prerequisites, the dental school or the medical school, I'll speak to dental, is going to teach you the science you need to know for your profession. And frankly, the dental admission test, there are courses you can take to specifically prepare yourself for that test. So the short answer is, in college, if you want to be a business major, which I would actually encourage, for dental folks specifically, is I would highly encourage them to be either business or psychology majors, because that's actually what you use most of every day. It's okay. I mean, it makes sense to try to minor in one of the sciences because you have enough prereqs for that usually, but just by doing the dental school thing. But you really need to have a strong business background, and you need to have a strong psychology background, because that's gonna be your bread and butter. And so you can be a music major. I mean, you can be an environmental studies major. It doesn't matter. So at the end of the day, you can do that, or the other option is you can work with your advisor to attempt to create a very thorough independent study major where you design a pre-dental curriculum for yourself based on the prerequisites and based on experiences you have. And so that would be one of the things that I would encourage and be happy to work with Washington College on, actually, would be to potentially design some type of pre-dental major, or give them some ideas for pre-dental students who may not be interested in majoring in science, but also want to get a thorough background to prepare themselves, not just for dental school, but also for dentistry as a career, because it's two completely different things.
Yeah, and we actually, we've this past year, a couple students who went through committee had done either a business management, minor or double major, or
Yep.
economics background, and it is that
Exactly.
same sort of thinking, with the idea of, if I'm running my own practice or taking part in a practice, that they really need to know the business end. And we've heard from some alum that didn't do that route, that said the same thing, like, I wish I at least had that background,
Hmm.
to in order to sort that stuff out. So 100%, I think that's definitely some valuable advice.
I mean, I really enjoyed being a biology major. And please don't get me wrong, but if my boys were interested in being dentists, I would encourage them to do whatever major they wanted to, as long as they were happy with what they're
Yeah, absolutely. And
doing.
we certainly encourage that. And it's the same, you look over the numbers, and there's a preponderance of biology majors, and a lot of
Yeah,
times because they're interested in that anyway, or
yeah, and that's fine. That's great.
because
Yeah,
they're taking all those classes. But we do
yep,
have, quite a few from other majors, or the double major, right?
hmm,
And
exactly.
sometimes those students get creative, and they're doing a senior capstone that spans both majors, which I think
Yeah,
those are fascinating, when they can make those two things connect, and sort of design their own topic. So,
for sure.
any other final thoughts you want to share with the broader Washington College community out there?
Oh, basically just, Washington College is an awesome school. Being small and liberal arts college, you can have the freedom and flexibility to not just focus on your academics, but also really grow as a person. I tell people all the time that 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 was the best 4 years of my life ever. And I tried to get a fifth year out of my parents, but they weren't going to go for it.
No, they were.
I was having too much fun, I guess. But I'm an alumni, or I'm sorry, I'm a legacy. My parents both graduated in '72, and then my brother graduated in '05. So all four of us went to Washington College, and it's just an awesome place, and it really lets you grow and do whatever you choose to do as a career. You're very prepared for life and for your career both.
Excellent. All right. Well, thank you, Dr. Verts, for sharing some time with us tonight. And hopefully, the woodworking continues to take off, but doesn't take up too much of your time. Right now that you're back into the dentistry, but
Yeah, it's all good.
that's fantastic that you're doing that as well. So,
Oh, well, thanks, Phil. It's been my pleasure to talk to you, and I really appreciate you reaching out to me today.
all right. Thank you. Take care.
Thank you. Okay, bye bye.